Yes.
All right. So everyone, we're going to learn about something very different today. So we're going to learn about this genetic research lab acquired by Hamili. It's certified, officially certified by the Korea Disease Control and Prevention Agency. So it is recognized the highest certification grade. Why do we learn about this? We are distributing health supplements. I understand we are a business company that started from immunology clinic. Yes, but why, Maria? Why we're learning about this genetic research lab? What does it matter with us? Well, it does have a relation, so let's take a look. You know, they say the life expectancy is going to surpass 100 years. Not yet, but we're getting there, right? And as we live longer, the chances of facing cancer and dementia, it also increase. So it's no longer just about living longer. Because living longer, longevity doesn't guarantee anything. It's about living healthier, right? So predicting disease and taking preventive actions to live healthier, it could be a game changer in the healthcare industry. So now we go to see doctor after we get sick, but in the coming era, people take this kind of genetic research test, and based on the result, they take preventive actions so people don't get disease from the first place. That's called predictive and preventive medicine. That's the new paradigm of medicine. And Hamili has this pioneering technology and solutions for the next era of healthcare service. So if we are doing healthcare industry, healthcare business, this is something that we should not neglect because it's for preparing the coming 100 years of healthcare industry. So yes, it's called Hugen Bio. I'm very excited to introduce these two genetic tests done by Hugen Bio. One is called Cell Scan, and the other one is called Cell Age. And they analyze genetic data to predict disease. And based on the result, we provide personalized health solutions using Hamili's health products. So let's take a look at the first um, cell scan test. Cell scan test, they help identify three critical factors. Just a second, guys. Let me check. The internet from my side is also, it is slow today. Hmm. Yeah, let me try once again. All right. So let's take a look at the first test, which is called cell scan test. So they help, the CellScan test helps identify 3 critical factors. And the first thing is called, wow, it's very slow today. Okay, this one. So you can check whether you have cancer-related genes, mutations. And number 2, you can also check whether you have tumor-suppressing genes that, that are not functioning properly. And you can also check the presence of dementia-related genes. And by combining these 3 factors, cells can also track the progression of 15 major cancers by organ. This is something that just ordinary hospitals cannot provide. This is very extraordinary. So let's take a look. First of all, how does cancer develop? When cells are continuously exposed to factors such as smoking, chemicals, as you see here, like stress, even UV, and aging, this genetic mutations can begin. But don't worry, you don't develop cancer right away. It's when this kind of harmful stimulus are applied repeatedly over time, that cellular mutations can occur. So it usually say it takes a long time for one cell to mutate. But once it becomes a cancer cell, both the mutation speed and growth speed, it goes up rapidly. So that's why we say it's always better to early detect and prevent about cancer treatment. So the main idea is that, okay, uh, even so cell doesn't mutate over a short period. When this kind of bad stimulus are given repeatedly, cells start to mutate over times. Okay. And when cells are consistently exposed to these stimuli, whether stress, aging, chemicals, toxics, they eventually mutate, and simply say they break into fragments. Let's say this is our cells. They look round, they look perfect, they look intact, but when this kind of stimulus are consistently given, they start to break into fragments. So these fragments, these particles, we call them cell-free DNA because it has been broken down and is no longer part of an intact cell, intact DNA. So we call it cell-free DNA. It's not cell anymore, it's cell-free DNA. So by drawing blood sample and analyzing these tiny, tiny DNA fragments flowing in the blood, we trace them back to their original genes and identify which genes are mutating. So when you are healthy, there is no reason for genes to break apart. So in your blood sample, there will be very little cell-free DNA found in the blood because you are healthy. Your cells don't break into particles. But when genetic mutations occur and when you're not healthy, your cells begin to break into particles and they're flowing in your blood. So in your blood sample, when you're not healthy, the amount of cell-free DNA in blood, that would also increase, right? So this requires highly advanced technology to magnify and analyze such microscopic cell-free DNA. So this is the technology we have. So in your blood, by identifying and analyzing whether you have cell-free DNA and trace them back where these cells are originally from, we can tell the mutations level of your cells. And the first test you will receive is that they identify whether mutations are occurring in any of these 29 cancer-related genes. So this person already has, out of 29 cancer-related gene, 4 of them already started mutations, right? And they say um, cancer is more likely to develop when 3 or more genetic mutations occur at the same time. If there's none, that's the best. If it's there 1 or 2, not bad, but it's over 3, 4 at the same time. It means there is a risk of cancer gene mutations going on. And I've put this 2 questions over here. Question number 1, can cancer develop even if your gene information is normal? That means can cancer develop even if you don't have much gene mutations? That's number 1 question. Question number 2, is it possible to remain cancer-free even if cancer-related genes, you have cancer-related mutations going on? So the answer to these 2 questions are yes. Interestingly, having gene mutations does not necessarily mean you will develop cancer. Oh, so even you have some mutations going on, that doesn't necessarily mean that you will have cancer. And on the other hand, even if you have not much mutations going on, cancer can still occur. That's amazing. Why is that? Because it depends on whether you have methylation or not. So this is one of the concepts we learned, new term. You better really understand what is this. Methylations. It's the conditions where your tumor suppressor genes are broken. Or we can also say whether your tumor suppressor genes are switched off. So when God created us, God gave us tumor suppressing genes as gift. They're protecting us. So when these amazing genes, tumor suppressing genes, when they are repeatedly damaged by external stress, free radical and aging, they became inactivated. So we call this condition methylations. So methylation is not a good conditions. It's a conditions where your tumor suppressor genes are inactivated. And we can understand it like this. It's like as if a fire shutter door are wide open toward fire. So you are defenseless. Even cancer is going on. If your tumor suppressor gene is working fine, you can stop cancer happening. But when these are broken, when these are inactivated, that means you are defenseless. That's why self-scan test also checks whether these 11 tumor suppressor genes have been switched off. I'm not saying it's totally broken. You gotta take them up. No, it's like inactivated. It's switched off. That means you can reverse it. You can make it active again. You can switch it on again. So that's a good part, right? So once a cell has already become cancer, you cannot make it undone. You have to take this out, right? We like by surgery we remove cancer cells. But fortunately, methylated cells, methylated tumor suppressor genes can be restored with LifeMill and Hugen Food, one of our detoxification product, with LifeMill and Hugen Food. Okay, and let's see over here. So other than this cancer cell mutation test and tumor suppressor gene methylation test, you can also detect whether you have genetic risk factor for Alzheimer, stroke, and other form of dementia. Because dementia-related genes are strongly influenced by heredity. Of course, your lifestyle, your stress level, it will affect, but it's mostly from inheritance. It's decided. So they say even teenagers can show early warning for their vascular dementia and stroke risk because it's in their DNA. And since this disease, dementia, stroke, Alzheimer, they can be slowed if you detect them early. So early detection matters. So if you know whether you carry these genetic markers, it's extremely helpful because by the time when the symptoms appear and you visit the hospital, it may already be too late. So this is the true power of predictive and preventive medicine. If you know early, you can take control of our health before disease ever develops. So that's why I recommend all of you to take this test. And this is the final results you will receive. Combining these previous three factors, they show you this. Oh, this is amazing. They tell you the cancer progression across 15 major organs. As you see here, if it's a male, it's a prostate. If it's female, it's their uterus. So like including stomach, um, colon, lung, liver, your thyroid, and kidney, pancreas, your esophagus. So they tell you these organs cancer progression risk. So, and if it's red zone, the high risk, immediate medication consultation and intensive management are necessary. I've seen a case, someone who has red, high risk for lung. She's diagnosed lung cancer after 3 months of this cancer cell test. So it's very accurate. And if it's a case of purple, lifestyle adjustment and proactive health management are also required. And if it's yellow but closer to purple, like borderline, then you need to take care of it. And we've never seen someone with this gray, low risk, because people in this modern world, we are exposed to stress, pollutions, toxics. So, it's different now, right? But if it's closer to low risk, if the numbers are low, we say it's comparably stable. But if it's like purple and like red, higher number, it's quite alarming. Okay. And when you go to like standard hospital medical checkup, they only detect existing cancer. They will tell you have cancer or not, right? But this cell scan test, it identifies cancer risk before they become critical, even it's very small. So it gives you time to take action, to take control. And you know what? This is very alarming and interesting. Our human body naturally produces about 5,000 cancer cells every day. All of us, Maria, Vianney, Lodi, Diana, Olivia, Marvel, Risky, our body, even on this Sunday, produce 5,000 cancer cells today. But as our immune system is working properly, it eliminate them before it becomes a problem. That's how our immune systems work. So, and they say it usually takes more than 10 years for one single cell to develop into cancers. So we have enough time to prevent it. And like having one big fast food meal, that doesn't occur cancer. But when it accumulates over 10 years, 15 years, it can develop cancer. But however, once a tumor forms, and it can grow from 1 centimeter to 2 centimeter in just a year. So at that stage, it becomes extremely difficult to stop. That's why prediction and detection and preventions are so important. The standard hospital cannot detect tumors smaller than 1 centimeter, but with the cell scan test, you can see the progression at a much earlier stage and take preventive actions. Okay? And let's take a look the second test, which is called cell age. So you can understand your true biological age, which is different from your like chronological age. Your cellular age is different. They reflect the actual conditions of your body and how they can tell how well you are aging. And these four parts, blue parts, are protecting the four end of your cell, DNA. It's called telomere. Telomere. And by measuring the length of telomere, which is the protective caps at the end of your DNA, we can tell your biological age. When you see over here, so every time when your cell divide, your telomere shortens. That's natural. And when your telomeres are shortened to the left, your cell die. That's how it is. And as telomere get shorter, cell lose their ability to regenerate, and it's accelerating aging. And interestingly, the rate at which telomeres shrink, it's different from person to person. For some people, their telomeres are staying longer, even cells divide. Others, for some people, the speed of shortening, it's faster than others. So we don't know. It really depends on your lifestyle. So by comparing your telomere length to your actual age, this test determines your biological age and provide personalized recommendations to slow down aging and improve overall health. And in Korea, anti-aging that's one of the trends. So people want to know their like biological age. Am I older than my real age, or am I younger than my age? And people who have consumed live meal over 10 years, over 20 years, their biological age is much younger than their chronological age, like 15 years younger, 17 years younger. It seems like at some points they stop aging. And how is it possible? Because you can slow down telomeres shortening speed through proper nutrition and antioxidant intake. That's why I talked about live meal and fusion food. These two combination is powerful combination of antioxidant rich combinations. So that's why our cell age test, it's so popular among those who are interested in anti-aging and beauty and overall health optimizations. But it is not just about aging, because it tells about cancer prevention and overall health, like maintaining your vitality. And you can also take this test at Fusion Bio Lab. So before we wrap up today's lecture, let's learn about epigenetics. And next week, I'm going to give you a reading material related to epigenetics. So epigenetic is the study of how our diet and lifestyle can change the way our genes work without changing the genes themselves. This is amazing. I mean, even though the DNA stays the same, different food, different lifestyle can turn certain genes on and off. So it's like switch. Every gene has switch. Are you going to switch on your obesity gene, or are you going to switch on your longevity genes? Yes, it really depends on your diet and lifestyle. And there is an example of honeybees over here. Oh, they're amazing. You know, they're born with the same genes, all of them. So any one of them could become queen, right? But for the first 3 days after they're born, all this all these babies, they eat royal jelly. But after 3 days after, most of the honeybees, they switch to honey and pollen, and only a few of them continue to eat royal jelly. You know, the ones that are feeding pollen and honey, they grow into worker bees. and only the special few keep eating royal jelly and they become queen bee. And what they eat as they grow makes a huge difference. The worker bees, they only live about 45 days. They don't make babies. But the queen bees, they grow more than twice as big and live longer, like over 30 times longer than the worker bees. And most importantly, they have babies. They can lay up to 2 million eggs. So they have exactly the same genes, but different food, whether it's honey or royal jelly, it leads to completely different outcomes. Isn't it amazing? Food affect your gene. It doesn't change gene itself, but it changes how your genes expressed. And even if you were born with healthy genes, poor diet and lifestyle choices can alter gene expression, making you and not just you, your children, future generations more susceptible to disease. But the other way, reverse is also working that way. A healthy diet and lifestyle can positively influence genetic expressions, benefiting your children's generations. So you can switch on or off for your children's obesity, children's cancer, or even shortened lifespan. Mhm. It depends on the food you eat. So I thought it's very interesting and powerful and also somewhat alarming. It's not just about me, it's about our children generations. So by knowing this risk early and adopting healthier habits, we can not only improve ourselves, but also make healthier foundations for our next generations. So that's why we learn epigenetics, and I hope you can enjoy the next reading assignment because this will share more about this epigenetics. Okay, so next we are going to learn about Hugen Food, the product, which is essential for demethylate your methylated tumor suppressor genes. So before we move on to the product part, do you have any questions about Fusion Bio genetic labs or anything about epigenetics? All right. If you don't have questions, why don't we let's move on to the product part. That I can share this product with you guys. I am publicly saying that this is one of my favorite product. I really want to recommend this to everyone. Everyone. Life Meal is basic. That's for everything. But Fusion Food, it does so much. It's so beneficial. So let's take a look. So it's basically a powerful bundle of antioxidants. It's not just any other antioxidant. It's so powerful enough to change your gene expressions. That's why we learn Fusion Bio and Fusion Food together. So in order to understand what is fusion food, we need to learn about this free radicals. It's also called reactive oxygen species, but it's too long. So let's call it free radicals. So free radical is an unstable molecule that is attacking your body, attacking our cells. It's running wild. It's running around your body and it's attacking your enzymes, attacking your fat, attacking your cells, attacking your genes. So they say, according to WHO, World Health Organizations, about 90% of all human disease are related to free radical. Isn't this alarming? Isn't this amazing? So other than broken bone, whether it's aging, whether it's cholesterol, whether it's cold, cancer, we can trace disease back to their very beginning, and free radical is the root of them all. So wow, then we can think that okay, removing free radical is the first step toward real health management. And if we can timely remove if we can timely remove free radicals, that means we can prevent almost 90% of human disease, right? That's why I am telling you, fusion food is so good. It does so much for us, our body. So look at this. When free radicals are attacking your enzymes, and your enzymes, the ones that we shared in the book discussion, your enzyme will lose activations. It is inactivated. Oh, that's bad. And when free radicals meet, encounter, attack your fat turns into toxic. And most alarming thing is that when free radicals attack your tumor suppressing genes, your genes are methylated. That's why we learn about methylations. When your tumor suppressor genes are attacked by free radicals, your genes are inactivated, which is the conditions we call methylations. So it's switched off. And we learned that a good part is that we can switch it on again with live meal and fusion food. This is like a reviewing the Fusion Bio lecture. Even you have some cancer-related genes mutations going on. If your tumor suppressor genes are working fine, if they're good, they're like a shutter door. You have this shield, then you're fine. But if your shield are broken, switched off, that means you are defenseless. So we have to reverse it. That's what fusion food is done. It's so small. It's only the size of your pinky nails. When you open it, there are 2 tablets in it. In one box, there are 30 sachets, so 1 sachet a day. But if you need intensive care, you can have 3 sachets more than that. So it's essential even during cancer care. And if you want to stay healthy and age slow, age well, this is something you should seriously considering like taking it. It's defense. It makes your cells like new. And why? Because it removes let me see, it removes free radicals attacking your cells outside, and also it is restoring already made damage inside your cell. So when you take fusion food, it is like you are taking care of your cells inside and outside all together. That's why we say it's dual care for your cells. And its ingredient is selenium, powerful antioxidant, and Phytogen 10R, which is a patent material. It's a material that is using this 10 potent antioxidant ingredients, but it is not like taking each of them. That's good. Maria, I'm taking apple every day, broccoli every day. That's good. Continue. But when you extract these phytochemicals and make synergy of them, it becomes more powerful. It's not chemical, it's natural. But we are making synergy between these antioxidant phytochemicals. So let's see. And this is a tip. When you're looking for nutritious meal for full of antioxidant, and we have live meal. Live meal is for detoxification, Nutri-C, and activations, all 3, right? And when you combine fusion food with live meal, the synergy is incredible. Together, they provide powerful antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, and anti-aging, and even anti-cancer benefit. Okay, and I'd like to share some testimony. It was a cancer patient who had she was a cancer patient who had breast cancer, and in case of breast cancer, the inflammation sometimes really are on your skin. You can actually see inflammations, right? And fusion food is so powerful antioxidant. When you mega dose, when you take them with increased amount. You can visually see, you can actually see the inflammations are getting calmed. And when breast cancer patients are having them the 4 sessions, 6 sessions a day, they can like see the progression, the inflammations are calmed down. But when they stop, the inflammation starts again, oozing again. That means it's when you take fusion food, it's fighting against, and it really its anti-inflammatory effect is it's really working and faster. So I definitely for anyone who have cancer treatment and cancer, you have to demethylize your switched off tumor suppressor genes. So fusion food is essential. We cannot miss it. And you guys, this is my quiz. Maybe I should ask to Marvel. Marvel, what uh can you make a guess? What would be the organ that is making the most free radicals in our body from head to toe? The one organ that is producing the most free radical in our whole body.
I'm sorry, producing what?
Free radical, this toxic. I'm showing you. Okay. Oops. Which is the organ that is making this ROS, free radicals, in our body? Every organ is producing, but the one that is making the most free radicals.
Maybe liver.
Okay, Marvel, liver. And how about you, Risky?
Um, yeah, it's either liver or what's the word? I forgot. I forgot the word. The English word for the specific uh word. What's the English word of ginja? I forgot. Kidneys. Yeah, it's either liver or kidneys.
Kidney, liver, okay, okay, good guess. Olivia, what's your guess? Don't- Just make a guess. Was it? So Marvel said liver, Risky said liver or kidney. Well, I think that those are a good guess because liver, kidney, you guys have a point because those are filtering,
Yeah.
and they engaging in detoxifications, right? Well, actually, they do produce free radicals, but actually the first organ that is making the most free radicals in our whole body is actually brain. Brain. Mm. Brain, they never stop. Like it's a control tower, right? You can imagine how much stress you get, you know? And then brains and eyes are like connected. So eyes are also one of the organs that is making lots of free radicals, very sensitive to free radicals. And guys, brain disease, this optical disease, these two symptoms, they don't have clear medications, like dementia, stroke, glaucoma, macular degenerations, all right? So that's why if you have any family history or related to brain or eyes, or if you have any symptoms related to brain, like neurological symptoms and optical problem, I recommend to double take this fusion food. Actually, I personally have a issue with my nerve, eye nerve. I'm born with only the half size of the eye nerve, so I really need to take care of it. I only hit half of nerve, so And that means it's very fragile to free radicals. It's bad for your eye pressure and macular degenerations and, glaucoma. In that case, even you go to the doctor, the medications they give, it's not clear. And the fundamental approach that we can slow down or prevent the symptoms and the disease is powerful antioxidants. So I'm personally recommend this is if you ever know people who really need to take care of their neurological symptoms and eye problem, Fusion Food could be a good daily supplements. Okay. All right. Any questions about Fusion Food? So this is categorized as D section among DNA, detoxification. It removes toxic. It removes free radicals. And also this is essential for cancer patients who need demethylize their tumor suppressor genes. Without fixing methylated tumor suppressor genes, you are still defenseless against cancer. So this is must. And for patients, you gotta increase the intake. After they go back to the normal conditions, they can have 1 sachet a day. But for intensive care, I recommend some mega dose. All right, if you guys don't have questions about Fusion Food, I really hope you guys can experience it. And it's great for inflammations. Do you guys know who needs inflammation care? Diabetes patients as well. They need their inflammation